After a decade of non-stop challenges in the cattle industry, producers finally have a reason to be optimistic. The price of cattle has gone up, and that has Saskatchewan producers like Ryan Beyerbach feeling hopeful that he will actually turn a meaningful profit this year.
Last year it was where we were profitable, but just kind of barely profitable, and same with the year before, but before that it was where there's a good chance that unless you're really efficient, you're going to be losing money. And then, you know, in January the prices started to come up, and this year's been really strong.
But business on Ryan's farm in southeastern Saskatchewan could be even better. He says his cattle would be worth much more without the unfair country of origin labeling, or COOL, that lawmakers in the United States made mandatory back in 2008. While supporters of COOL say consumers deserve to know where their food comes from, opponents say it puts Canada at a disadvantage and drives prices down. So much so that Ryan and many other cattle and hog producers have been struggling to keep their farms in operation ever since.
And I've decreased my numbers just because that helped with the cash flow. So yeah, you kind of have to change how you operate to keep, you know, so that you have enough money to pay the bills.
Paula Larson is also a cattle producer in the province and says she too had to bring her numbers down.
It was basically go broke or carry on, and we managed to make it. Don't ask me how.
Grant Zelenko with Saskatchewan's Ministry of Agriculture says COOL forces packers to put a mandatory label on packages of beef or pork, and those extra costs get passed down to the primary producers.
Packers have had to adjust their normal practices and restrict their kills to certain days of the week or where the animals are going to. So it just makes the whole system a lot more cumbersome to try to operate in what should be a free market environment.
He says the discriminatory regulations against Canadian cattle and hogs have cost the industry about $1 billion a year. That's a blow to the country's economy the federal government hasn't taken lightly. They have challenged COOL at the World Trade Organization. While in Saskatoon this month, Agriculture Minister Jerry Ritt said they are confident the WTO will rule in Canada's favor.
The Americans again have the right to appeal it. I'm sure they will with midterms coming up, but at that time we will start to ramp up the pressure on retaliatory measures as well, just to dissuade them from that.
Retaliatory measures that include putting tariffs on U.S. goods coming into Canada, including mattresses, office supplies, and of course, beef and pork.
We have a very fulsome list up, 30-some commodities. Everybody kind of went ho-hum until we got to the point where we were starting to retaliate on California wine and Kentucky bourbon. That got their attention.
I think they were kind of hoping they could just bully this through and we'd just put up with it. But yeah, it's good to see Minister Ritt standing up for us.
The U.S. beef herd is at a 63-year low. The American Meat Institute estimates that 7 processing plants are at risk of closing because of those low numbers and their inability to handle the nuances of COOL. So Grant says it's difficult to understand the rationale behind this legislation.
Economically, this is a job killer and has big ramifications for both economies.
All attention will be on the WTO ruling expected in September. For now, Ryan and Paula are just breathing a sigh of relief that they are back in business.
I sold 4 cows the other day for the same price I would have got for 20 in 2009. I'm going to take both those settlements, we call them. I swear I'm going to put them in a frame side by side.
And if COOL is eventually reversed, as many producers are optimistic it will be, then Paula says she would have even better sales to showcase. I'm Lisa Morozic, and this is a Sun News Network Special Report.